Please be seated. Please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome to Bentley University's 2019 Baccalaureate Ceremony. It's quite good to see your happy faces. It's an honor to be here with the class of 2019 before you cross the stage tomorrow and join the ranks of 65,000 Bentley alumni. Today is an opportunity for us to reflect on your academic and co-curricular journeys and celebrate all you have done for the community and one another during your 4 years on campus. This year, the senior class cabinet has selected Embracing Change as the theme for today's service. I can't think of a more fitting theme. Leaving Bentley will no doubt be a big change for all of you here today. Of course, in these past 4 years, you've built unbreakable bonds that you've relied on for strength and support. While your lives will be different after tomorrow, know that these bonds and systems of support await you in your professional and academic lives. After tomorrow, you'll be able to take what you've learned from Bentley and contribute to making the world a better place. The reflections, stories, and scripture readings we'll hear today are meant to remind us of that. It's been an honor getting to know the class of 2019 these past 4 years. Remember that as you embrace change and move on to the next phases of your lives, you'll always be a member of the Bentley community.
How many times have we imagined what this day would be like? I have to say, I have thought about it so many times I could have memorized every imagined scene. But not even the best of my imagined scene could compare to the real scene I am greeted with right now. Welcome seniors and graduates. Welcome families, staff, faculty, and trustees. Welcome to all our friends. I am Ziana Ratansi.
And I am Rachel Santos.
And we welcome you to the class of 2019's baccalaureate ceremony. Woo! During convocation our freshman year, we were told that the next time we would all be under a tent together would be at graduation. And here we are today. Congratulations to every single one of you. We made it.
So what is baccalaureate? Baccalaureate is a Bentley ceremony which serves as a time for reflecting on the student experience. Today is a day of mixed emotions. We're excited to start the next phase of our lives, but it is also a bittersweet goodbye to the school that has given us so much. Within the next hour, we will celebrate diverse faith traditions, reflect on our experiences throughout the past 4 years, and be inspired to move forward. We are the class that we are because of the change that we have embraced over the past 4 years. Inaugurating our new president, the renovation of Jennison, seasons becoming the 921, experiencing the Student Center our freshman year, the addition of the Bentley Arena, and so much more. Change is opportunity, and because of the changes that we have embraced, we have been able to grow through our journey at Bentley.
Today is a momentous day for us to celebrate this change. All of us are blessed with talents, accomplishments, and aspirations that are worth congratulating, and this is what today is all about. We are Paratus. We are ready for the next chapter of our lives.
It's mind-blowing how these 4 years have flown by in what feels like the blink of an eye. But when we reflect on the memories that we have shared together as classmates, teammates, roommates, and friends, we know these years were filled with love and that we will remember these memories for life. On the first day of the Bahamas trip, Dean Shepherdson told us that there is no school that loves their seniors as much as Bentley. And while we all know this to be true, I truly believe that no seniors love their school as much as the senior class loves Bentley. So, on our very last night as Bentley undergraduate students, Let's enjoy this hour to simply reflect and reminisce on our times as a class and hear from well-respected faculty, staff, and alumni at Bentley. I hope we can take this time to really let their words sink in and remember this moment. Enjoy the ceremony.
As Z just shared with us, this is a momentous occasion. This is a day of great celebration. Joy and gratitude have taken up residence in our hearts. Diversity and unity sit together under the canopy of this big, bold, waterproof tent. Friends, profound joy and gratitude can be doorways to prayer and reflection. And so I invite you in this welcoming moment to open this welcoming door, to pause as we invoke all that we know to be holy. In the spirit of our Interfaith Center, we will conclude the prayer in silence, allowing each person to reflect in accord with their own spiritual, religious, and ethical traditions. Will you pray with me? To the source of life, love, and blessing in the universe, we gather with hearts beating in excitement and minds traveling in memory. Still us in these moments that we might be mindful of the message you have for each and every one of us in this moment. We thank you for the seasons of our lives, for the beginnings and the endings, for the opportunities and the challenges. We pray in gratitude for talents discovered and fine character developed by the members of this class of 2019. And we give you thanks for their families and mentors and friends who always believed that this day would come. As our students now stand on the threshold of transition into a new chapter of life, may they confidently embrace the changes ahead. May they share their gifts with a world yearning for compassion, hungry for justice, and so ripe with possibility. Guide us, Holy One, as we reflect in faith, hope, and most of all, love. Amen. I now call Dr. Donna Maria Blancero forward, who will proceed with the academic hooding, and I invite the class of 2019 to stand.
The academic hood has been worn by generations of educated scholars. It symbolizes by its colors the academic specialty of the wearer and the university conferring the degree: tan for business, white for liberal arts, and blue and gold for Bentley. At this time, I call upon Hannah Rock, president of the class of 2019, to receive the academic hood on behalf of the entire class. Scholars of the class of 2019, you have received the insignia of your academic achievements. Wear them proudly for the honor of your alma mater. Welcome to the community of proud Bentley alumni. You may be seated.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dayan Chaudhry, and I'm honored to share a verse of the Quran on behalf of the Bentley Islamic community. Surah Ra'd, verse 11, tells us that we can only really adapt when we gather the courage to allow ourselves to change and to grow. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma bi qawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim wa biza arada Allahu bi qawmin su'an fala maradda lahu wa ma lahum min dunihi min walin. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. In English, this translates to, indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change that which is in their hearts. They change themselves. And what Allah intends for a people, there is no repelling it, and besides Him, they have no protector. Ameen. Congratulations, and thank you all, and Ramadan Mubarak.
Good afternoon, family, friends, faculty, staff, and administration. Most importantly, class of 2019, good afternoon and congratulations. My name is Brian Shea, and I say congratulations to all of you, but most importantly, I say congratulations to each of you. In your cast of Falcons, there are 971 unique college experiences that have made you who you are today and made Bentley what it is today. After diverging in 971 different directions after convocation, all of your Bentley stories converge here this weekend as we honor the class of 2019, the class that embraced change. In your years at Bentley, you've experienced plenty of change. You've experienced the construction of new buildings and of new movements. You've welcomed new people into your community and new perspectives into your worldview. You haven't just rolled with the punches, you've thrown haymakers at the status quo. Seriously, some of the coolest events, organizations, departments, and even majors on this campus didn't exist when I graduated here 5 years ago. And your leadership has propelled this community to be better than it was when you got here. This is life, and this is change. I mentioned that I'm a Bentley grad, but I have not yet mentioned that I am the proud son of an English teacher. I think I may have been born with a red pen in my hand. When I'm going over writing, whether it's mine or somebody else's, I can make an endless amount of revisions. Nothing is ever perfect. You can always be more concise, you can shift around some details or add in an Oxford comma, because you should never omit an Oxford comma. But if you keep your work to yourself until your work is absolutely flawless, you'll keep it to yourself forever. This weekend, you may hear that you and your classmates are the leaders of tomorrow. I always find that funny. Since preschool or kindergarten, this has been your life. Your job has been to learn things now that you're going to use later. Up until the end of high school, from early in the morning until some point in the afternoon, you sat at a desk and absorbed everything from multiplication tables to mitosis, from state capitals to states of matter. From society's perspective, you were a work in progress. You were covered with marks from somebody else's red pen. Here at Bentley, though, you took the bull by the horns. You took the red pen by the grip. You took charge of your own learning. You chose your classes, you chose your major, you chose your professors, and you chose what time of day you could motivate yourself to roll out of bed and be in your optimal learning state. Beyond that, though, you took charge of your experiential learning. When you weren't in the classroom, you chose to pursue academic enrichment and community impact through service learning experiences. You led student organizations that pushed Bentley to be a richer, more inclusive, and more well-informed community. In reflecting on your group projects, you identified, and probably quite specifically, what drives you crazy about certain work environments. You used black pen while using your red pen. You continued to create and to write and to share your life story, even if it wasn't yet perfect. You actively sought opportunities to learn from new experiences, but you led while you learned. This is the path forward, because this weekend is not where you stop learning. This is not where your experiences end. This is not when you stop improving. This is not when you stop investing in your education. You're just turning the page to start writing a new chapter. Now, I can tell you firsthand, in the years after graduation, it is easy to settle. You go from being a big fish in a small pond to a big fish in an expansive ocean. There will be people who make more money or have fancier job titles. Cool. That's life. But life is change. Life is the opportunity to clean up the trash in the ocean and provide hope for the future. Life is the chance to go beyond equality and create equitable communities. Life is sharing your perspective and learning from the perspectives of others. Life is the sum of all your experiences, multiplied by your plans to use what you have learned from them. Life is change. As you move forward and you begin to write your next chapter, take firm grip of your black pen and firm grip of your red pen. Do not let somebody else ghostwrite this chapter for you. As I mentioned before, you'll hear a lot about your class being the leaders of tomorrow. The world doesn't need that. The world needs you to be the leaders of today, to take what you've learned, to take what you're learning and use it, to lead, succeed, lead, fail, and continue leading. The one thing in the world that never changes is that the world is always changing. After all you've accomplished, all that you've learned, and all that you've become here at Bentley, I'm excited to see you all be that change. Again, class of 2019, congratulations to all of you, and congratulations to each of you.
Good afternoon, namaste. My name is Roma Gujarati, and it is my honor to share 3 short verses from the Bhagavad Gita from my Hindu faith tradition, first in Sanskrit and then in English. This sacred text reminds me that God guides us through stressful changes, so I really have no need to worry. Matra sparshastu konteya shitoshna sukha dukhada Agamapaino nityas tantitikshasva bharata yam hina vyathayantyete purusham purusharshapha samadukha sukham dhiram somrittatvaya kalpate avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam vinasham avyayasyasya na kaschit kartum arati. Arjun is having an anxiety attack about what will happen in the future. Lord Krishna replies, Arjun, you are going to experience many types of situations in your life. Some will give you bliss, and some will give you pain, but through all of them, you have to tolerate. Tolerate them by knowing that all those situations were given to you by God. If you don't dwell in sorrow and instead keep patience, you are destined for greatness. Anything that happens to you is happening to the body, but you are not that. You are the indestructible soul within. In reality, nothing can affect you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nasif McCrae, and I am thrilled to share my Bentley experience with you all. As a high school student, the idea of college seemed very far-fetched to me, particularly due to the fact that neither of my parents had ever attended college, nor did we have the financial means to afford it. To be completely honest, these 2 barriers had nearly discouraged me from applying to any colleges at all. Luckily, through the support that I had received from a college access program, Higher Edge, I overcame my self-doubt and applied to as many colleges as possible. Choosing to push past my negative thoughts proved to be a blessing, since it led to me being able to attend my dream school, Bentley University. I had high expectations for myself heading into my first semester in August of 2015. Due to the high academic success that I had achieved in high school, graduating with a 4.0 GPA, I had this wild idea that passing all of my Bentley courses would be a breeze. All that I had to do was submit my homework, study the course material a day before my exams, and show up to class at least 75% of the time. the absolute secret to success. As you can probably assume, my high school antics didn't get me very far at Bentley. Within a few months into my freshman year and some failed homework assignments and exams under my belt, I had quickly come to realize the real reason why Bentley offers free academic tutoring. Although asking for help may seem easy to do, it actually takes a lot of courage, since it requires admitting to your weaknesses and acknowledging the fact that we don't know everything. Luckily, I was able to develop a solid support system on Bentley's campus that consisted of incredible individuals like Claudette Blott, Wiley Davy, and Leslie Doolittle, who encouraged me with words of wisdom during my times of self-doubt. They also made themselves vulnerable and shared their own failures with me, which inspired me to never give up. While I still faced obstacles in my Bentley journey, I approached them with strength and resolve. I remember experiencing a marketing course during my junior year in which I had to write a 20-page final group paper on my own, since my group members hadn't written their delegated sections. I decided to put my pride to the side, as my mentors had previously encouraged me to do, and sought advice from Leslie. Throughout this entire ordeal, the time, wisdom, and support Leslie invested in me and in helping me is something that I still remember clearly to this day. I successfully passed the course and was able to maintain a conditional academic scholarship, which could have been forfeited had I not received a high enough grade. That particular scholarship was one of the main reasons that I was able to pay off my student account balance that year. So as much as I'd like to say that I'd been able to achieve all of my success at Bentley because of my own hard work and determination, that would be a lie. The strength and love provided to me from my support system at Bentley is truly what helped me make it through. I can never repay my mentors for all of the support that they have invested in me. But to honor them and show my sincere appreciation, I have made it my personal mission to invest my positive energy and love back into the community. This past March, I attended an alternative spring break trip to Florida with Habitat, where we helped build homes for first-time homeowners in need. The trip allowed me to learn some useful home building skills and overcome my fear of heights on ladders. There I met Levi and Deshandra, the 22 and 23-year-old married couple that were officially able to call themselves homeowners and have a stable home to provide to their expected daughter on the way. The trip proved to be absolutely life-changing, especially considering the fact that my mother's current house is a Habitat home, which has allowed my siblings to be able to experience playing in their own backyard. I was also able to get involved in service learning at Bentley by participating in the 4th credit option that was made available through my interpersonal relations management class. In my program, I served as a mentor to children who came from immigrant families and helped them practice their English, form good study habits, and strengthen their reading, writing, and math skills. These opportunities allowed me to be an advocate for others who found themselves struggling in a new world. Here I am today, standing before you as a first-generation college student who started my Bentley career off with a 2.5 GPA and worked my way up to achieving my goal of making Bentley's Dean's List last semester. Thank you. Participating in service learning, going on the Habitat trip, and making Dean's List have all been long-term goals of mine. And although it has taken me a while to make them come true, I can finally say that I made it happen and persevere. I am very excited to graduate and show everyone that our resilience is going to change the world. Yes, you heard me correctly. Our resilience is going to change the world. I want to leave you with a powerful quote from one of the biggest influences that encouraged me to further my education in life and business, Ermias Ashadam, also known musically as Nipsey Hussle. He said, "The best thing you can do for a person is to inspire them. That's the best currency you can offer, inspiration. Being inspired can make all the difference for someone. it has for many of us here at Bentley. So as we think about the future and what we can do for others, let's go and inspire the world. Thank you for your time and patience with me. You will all be forever appreciated. Much love. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Josh Swerloff, and I'm honored to be reading from Genesis chapter 12. The first phrase is in Hebrew, followed by English. Vayomer Adonai el Avram lech lecha. Now God said to Abram, go forth from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you, and make your name great so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you I will curse, and in you all the families on earth shall be blessed. So Abram went forth as the Lord had commanded him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran. Abram took his wife Sarai and his brother's son Lot, and all the wealth that they had amassed, and the persons whom they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. Rabbinical interpretations of this verse point out that the words lech lecha can mean both an emphatic way of saying get going, but also, and perhaps more importantly, go to yourself. The point here is that in order to move forward and initiate a change or a new journey, you must first do some self-reflection and look inward. This weekend, we all go forth. We constantly want to move forward, but sometimes to do that, you must take a step back and go down a new path that's most true to you. The path you're on may seem the safest and the easiest, but that doesn't always make it the best. Life is full of scary decisions, but always make the decision that makes you the happiest. Lech lecha, go to yourself, look inside. It doesn't matter what everyone's telling you or what everyone else thinks. It only matters what you think. You always know deep down what to do. It's your life and your decision. It'll be an amazing journey, so let's get going.
Hello all, I am Alicia Green, a finance major and law minor, leader, friend, sister, and in less than 24 hours, a graduate of Bentley University. We are here to celebrate our accomplishments together with faculty, staff, friends, and family, to reflect on the beauty of what we have accomplished and experienced here, and finally to appreciate the future that is to come. In reflecting, let us acknowledge and appreciate the immense growth that we've experienced and reminisce on our why. Your why is what drives you, your passion, and what keeps you going each and every day. The point is to carry on, to prevail, and to remember why you started and where you want to be. Life throws plenty of curveballs at us, and we have to be prepared to adapt and trust that everything will work out. Sometimes we see these curveballs as negative and are unable to appreciate the greater picture and journey ahead. These 4 years and all the challenges that have come with them have given us the tools and connections that will carry each and every one of us into this new endeavor. Our strongest connections have been the ones we made with each other. We've shared our backgrounds, ethnicities, upbringings, hometowns, music tastes, food obsessions, and occasionally our love-hate relationship with the GBs. At the root of each connection is a story that aided in our journey from convocation to commencement. And each of these moments have developed our own voice. In a personal light, I learned the power of my voice, my truth, and that I deserve to be heard. I can remember the day I sat in Claudette Blott's office thinking about my personal development coming in through the STEP program. I started out as a scared freshman and blossomed into the outgoing social butterfly I am today. An experience, a background, a culture that cultivates into a story. The story of me, my why. My story is fueled through my involvements on campus, where I was able to grow my network across the student body. My road as a leader began with the Caribbean Ancestry Student Association, known as CASA. CASA became my link to my heritage and allowed me to expand my knowledge of other countries in the Caribbean and appreciate the variation in traditions. I hail from a family of Jamaican heritage that empowered me to constantly be firm in my beliefs, values, faith, and reminded me to work hard for all that I desire. I was also taught to strive for nothing but the best. Therefore, I wanted to push myself to find a new involvement that wasn't in my norm, and my biggest challenge and triumph of all came in joining AIA. It was an amazing opportunity to step outside of my comfort zone, especially managing a budget of $1.4 million. Never did I think I would become the organization's chair, let alone becoming the first person of color to ever sit in the chair position. Throughout my time as chair, I've seen the importance of advocacy for student organizations and the impact our funding decisions have on orgs in the greater Bentley community. I've also learned the strength in sharing perspectives and the significance of serving communities as a leader. There have been rough patches and tough decisions, but they have only made me stronger. During my time in the various organizations that I took part in, I was given the honor to meet an abundance of students and to discover their passion, their drive, and their why. Some already had their own businesses established, others had big dreams within media, and a ton of creative divisions that provide an outlet to chase their passion, their why. Each of these stories gave me many ways to relate to someone I never thought I would connect with. In my cross-cultural psychology class junior year, I recall meeting Sadia Fahimo. We often commented on common themes in class and utilized any chance there was to shamelessly plug our cultural orgs, CASA and SASA. As time went on, I'd see her in the hallways, at events, and we found our way back to one another senior year as our friend groups overlapped. We shared a desire in bringing people together to have unique discussions, spread cultural awareness, and also get to know new peers. In any setting, we all bring varying perspectives based on our personality and upbringing that have shaped who we are and how we see the world. Bentley has taught me that it's okay to share a piece of who you are because there's a great amount of power in your story and your why. Remembering the words of my mother and great-grandmother to always strive for the best, I got comfortable with being uncomfortable and simply being myself. Thinking about the Bentley beliefs of being passionate, having respect, and the desire for learning, I appreciate the fact that I can look back on my 4 years here and say that there's nothing I change. Every stumbling block, trial, and tribulation made me stronger and grew me into the tenacious, determined young woman I am here today, ready to take on the world. Graduation from Bentley is not the end of the story, but the beginning of a new chapter. May this next chapter be filled with success, love, and rediscovering your why. A formation of friends, advisors, mentors, and family have supported us to this point and have become a part of our why. These people have laughed and cried with us, and tomorrow, as we walk across that stage and move on to our careers, they will continue to be there for us. The story of us, the story of me, the story of you, all thanks to Bentley U. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth, and as a member of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, I am honored to read this passage from 1 Corinthians that speaks to embracing change through a journey of love. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became an adult, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known. So now, faith, hope, and love remain, but the greatest of these is love. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jared Olette, and I am so humbled and honored to be speaking with you all today. Thank you to my classmates, friends, and the senior class cabinet for this incredible opportunity. I am one emotional boy right now, but I'm going to do my best to keep it all together. Our 4 years speak to the growth that Bentley cultivates in its students. We started as naive, timid, but eager first-year students. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, but we dove right in regardless. Orientation urged us to take off our cool hats, and while we weren't all ready to twerk on stage at orientation like the incredible Kevin Henderson, I was impressed with how fast we all listened to their instructions, letting our guards down to make the most of our experience. We spent hours chatting with one another as strangers became lifelong friends in no time. We ate in seasons and kept going back while trying our best to inevitably avoid the freshman 15. We ran into the activities fair with joy, signing up for way more student organizations than we could possibly handle. Our goal was never to win any award or build a hefty resume. It was just about enjoying each day, getting our footing, and finding our people. We had all the time in the world. But that year went by fast. And with sophomore year came so many exciting perks. A kitchenette, oh sure. A common room, you're kidding. A volleyball court and grills outside of Forest and Kresge. We were living large. We entered sophomore year feeling pretty good about ourselves. We weren't the little guys anymore. We were figuring out what we wanted from our college experience and who we wanted to be. We were stepping into our own. And then just like that, we were upperclassmen. As juniors, the pace changed once more as we all kicked it into high gear. Majors, internships, full apartments, e-board positions, study abroad. Suddenly, there was so much to consider. The world was at our fingertips, and it was our responsibility to make it work for us. We were grinding, but that's part of the Bentley spirit. Whether we thought so or not, we thrived on the chaos as we began to realize just how much we were capable of. And then it was senior year. We started off really strong as we all gathered on the lower green space to celebrate our final move-in day. By this point, we were very different people from the students who stumbled onto Bentley's campus in 2015. Refined, capable, confident, ready. And as a whole, we were a very different, unified, accepting, supportive class. Together, we experienced pub nights, the downfall of Garcina Brogans, RIP, the amazing inauguration of President Allison Davis Blake, the senior boat cruise, commencement ball, and most recently, the Bahamas together. You're all glowing, by the way, the tans are stunning. With each senior class event, we all came together to celebrate the great moments we've had and the little time that remained. New friendships were made and lasting ones were strengthened. As each month went by, we made sure that we were making the most of it all, knowing that we were inching closer and closer to this day. I'll be the first person to tell you that I am not good at change. It's not because I don't think I can handle it, even though I almost lost it when Take Fives got taken away from Russo's, and I still mourn the retirement of the great Gloria Larson. But it's because the unknown has always been my biggest fear. When it was time to leave high school and head to college, my world was rocked. I didn't begin my college search until the last possible minute because in my mind, if I just ignored it, it wasn't going to happen. If I knew back then how I'd feel today, I'd shake my head at the amount of energy that I spent worrying about things that were out of my control and worked out perfectly. But I've learned that that's how change works. Whether we try to avoid it or embrace it, it inevitably comes. We surprise ourselves at how well we adapt, and we find ourselves stronger and wiser because of it. So now here we are, on the brink of what might be the greatest change we've experienced yet. I'm sure you're all feeling a lot of emotion today. I know that I am. But that's okay. I feel like that's how this should be. We should feel nervous, we should feel proud, and we should feel sentimental because we've built a real life for ourselves here. So allow yourself to feel all of the feelings. But what I want all of us to remember is that being here under this tent today is no little accomplishment. You got yourself here. You deserve to give yourself that credit. And you deserve to embrace this change, trusting in yourself that wherever you end up next, you can build the same sense of community and make the same impact that you've made so profoundly on so many people here at Bentley. But also remember that we could not have done this alone. So tonight, when we celebrate one last time as a class, make sure that the people who made your experience whole, who have loved and supported you, know how important they are to you, because nothing deserves to go left unsaid when you walk across this stage tomorrow. And when you're busy and thriving on your next journey, please remember to look back and hold on to those same people. So while our lives may be changing, and we are going to change with them, I hope that one thing remains the same. I hope that wherever we end up, we all remain the people who are there for those around us, who accept and celebrate everyone for who they are, and who are in the business of being kind. That is what I love and will hold on to when I think about the Bentley community and the class of 2019. It has been the greatest honor to share these 4 years with you all. Thank you, and congratulations, everyone.
Oh boy. Yes. 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 God is listening. Friends, families, faculty, staff, and administration, class of 2019. Thank you for inviting me to be part of this wonderful celebration. You are my first class to see graduate here at Bentley as a faculty member. It seems like only yesterday I was walking across campus to teach my first class when the wind took hold of a large foam board I was carrying, blew it across the lawn, and took out an entire line of you standing at the food truck. GB 215. Remember that time that I made you sit in a spiral of chairs while I stared awkwardly at the floor for an entire hour? Or that day when I took your money and your shoes and I made you sit in the hallway in a small taped box? Those were fun times. And now sharing them out loud makes me think, not only will you be my first class to graduate, but possibly my last. It's true, I'm known for teaching in an unorthodox way. But research on experiential learning demonstrates that we learn best when our learning is tied to a lived, felt experience. And we want you to remember what you learned here at Bentley about yourselves, about teams and organizations, so that if you see a scapegoating dynamic unfold, or a leader abuse their power, or a woman, a person of color, or an LGBT employee silenced or sidelined at work, you will take a stand. And having spent the past 3 years with you, I know you will. Because if there's one thing I'm certain about, it is that the class of 2019 understands the power of inclusion and small acts of kindness. I know this because it is how I arrived at this podium today. I believe that it is only through our relationships and these small acts of kindness that we have the power to disrupt intractable conflict and create lasting systemic change. And there's no question that your generation will face seemingly intractable conflict. But I know a secret about changing systems. We are part of the system. And so when we step out of our comfort zones and we embrace the misfits, the outcasts, the oppressed, and the strangers at the gate, we contribute to real change. I call this the Kelly effect. Allow me to explain. When I was a senior in college, I went through a very difficult time in my life. As a result, when I graduated, I had no money and no home. My only job after graduation was pumping gas on the 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift at the local 76. And one summer morning, a car pulled in for service, and out stepped a former classmate of mine named Kelly, who approached me with a folded piece of paper. And she said, "I didn't know if I would ever see you again, but in the off chance that I did, I wanted to hand you this." And she gave me an email that she had printed out about an internship in California that she saved just for me. And that small act of kindness changed my life. because I applied for that internship and 8 weeks later found myself in Oakland, California, learning how to become a community organizer. And 8 weeks after that, I received my first full-time job offer to direct a leadership program for LGBT youth. And in that program, I met my first organizational psychologist, who gifted me with a scholarship to attend a T group at Stanford Business School. And in that T group, I discovered my calling, and that calling led me here, to you. One small act of kindness, the Kelly effect. As I was preparing these remarks, it occurred to me I should look Kelly up and tell her what I'm telling you today, how her act of kindness changed the trajectory of my life. So you can imagine my devastation when I learned that Kelly had passed away in 2006 at the age of 27. I never took the chance to thank Kelly for teaching me one of my greatest lessons, that in all the important things that you are poised to do in the coming years, and there are many, the thing that we will remember most are these relationships and those small acts of kindness. So, my friends, I have one experiential request before we part ways. Would you join me in honoring Kelly's memory and the spirit of this class by committing to acting one act of kindness to a fellow graduate in the coming year? If yes, we created a way to help. Today, when you sat down, you had an index card and a pen on your chair. Please pick those up and write your name and email address on the card. And write legibly, because I've seen your handwriting. After you've done that, I want you to pass the card to the person behind you. For the students in the back, at the end of the ceremony, please bring your cards up to the front row. When you receive that name, I want you to read it, take it in, and make a commitment to that person that you are going to reach out to them in the next year. And when you do, you're going to ask them, how are things going post-college? What's going well? What might be challenging? And how can you help? And I want you to listen carefully, because sometimes people don't know what kind of help they need. This is a silent activity. Thank you. If we succeed in this task together, we will create a Kelly effect of our own today at Bentley University. And not only will we strengthen our relationships beyond graduation, but together we will create lasting systemic change. Thank you, class of 2019, and congratulations.
Everybody's looking for that something, one thing that makes it all complete.
You'll find it in the strangest
places you never knew it could be.
Some find it in the faces of the children. Some find it in their lovers' lives. Who can deny the joy it brings when you found that special thing? You're flying without wings.
Some find it sharing every morning. Some in the solitary lives.
You'll find it in the words of others.
A simple line can make you laugh or cry.
You'll find it in the deepest friendships.
The kind you cherish all your life. And when you know how much that means, you'll find that special thing. You're flying without wings. So impossible as it may seem,
You've got to fight for every dream.
But who's to know which one you let go?
Would it make you complete?
but for me it's waking up beside you to watch the sunrise on your face.
To know that I can say I love you.
At any given time or place.
It's the little things that only I know. Those are the things that make you mine.
And it's the flying without wings.
'Cause you're my special thing.
You're flying without wings.
And you're the place my life begins.
And you'll be where it ends. I'm flying without wings.
And that's the joy you bring. I'm flying without wings.
Great job, by the way. President Davis Blake, trustees, faculty, and staff, families, distinguished guests, and of course, class of 2019, welcome. My name is John A. Komitas, and I'm pleased to be here with you today as a proud member of the Global Alumni Board, representing the Alumni Association of 65,000 Strong. I welcome you as our newest members to the alumni family. As I was preparing my remarks, I wanted to leave you with a lasting message, something that would be timeless, but then I thought they'll probably just be Snapchatting away anyways, so. All kidding aside, as you take your first steps into your career, embrace this experience from student to graduate to a member of the business community, and know that there is a vibrant group of fellow Falcons eager to help you now and forever. The class of 2019 is the first to graduate into a new alumni group called FOLD, Falcons of the Last Decade. FOLD offers social and professional networking events to keep you and other grads connected to Bentley and each other. By being involved and staying connected to the Bentley community, the bonds you created while at school will be just as strong as you progress in your career. And in your career, take risks, be bold, express yourself, and stand out. Leverage the leadership qualities Bentley has taught you and make your mark. But remember one thing, no matter how successful you become, always come home. Remember your roots at Bentley University. Take time to give back to your family, to your community, and of course, to your alma mater. Attend or organize an alumni event. There are hundreds each year all over the world. Be proactive with networking. Help a fellow Falcon with an introduction. Be a mentor. Trust me, everything comes full circle. The opportunities to give back are endless. Last month, I attended the Scholarship Stories event, which genuinely inspired me. Hearing your stories of gratitude and appreciation, having the opportunity to meet many of you was a true joy. You were thankful to the many alums that some you never met, but provided scholarship support, offering you an incredible opportunity and education. And so my ask for you today is that you pay it forward, as others have paid it forward to you. Giving back has many forms. It is not only about making a gift. It is about giving your time and sharing your expertise. We each have our own set of talents and treasures. It's what we do with them that matters in life. So in closing, remember your roots, remember how someone believed in you to succeed, and remember to pay it forward. Congratulations, class of 2019. I wish you the absolute best in your endeavors and look forward to seeing many of you on the covers of Bentley magazines. Thank you.
The following charge was created by the senior class cabinet as a reflection of values and relationships formed throughout our time at Bentley. As we soon step into life post-graduation, we now invite our class to participate in the charge to the class of 2019. Will the class of 2019 please stand as able and respond with the bold text that's on the back of the program? Class of 2019, we stand together in a spirit of joy and gratitude on this wonderful day. Let us reflect on all of the moments and individuals who have empowered us during our time at Bentley. We give thanks for the loving support of our families and friends and the wisdom of our teachers and mentors.
Fellow Falcons, we have been prepared to be compassionate, nimble, and proud of the changes we experience and inspire. We commit to impact others through the business of being kind.
We remember that all life is sacred. We dedicate our intellect and character to positively impact those around us.
Future alumni, we stand on the threshold of our upcoming lives. Let us step forward with integrity as we continue to embrace change, to seek purpose, and add value to the global community.
May we have the courage to stand up for what we believe is right and use our education to confront the changes and challenges of tomorrow. We aspire to stay true to our dreams and to walk into the future with faith, hope, and the greatest of these, love.
Now I invite everyone to stand as able for the benediction.
Our Bentley Spiritual Life team extends our interfaith blessings to you. For in the words of American poet Gwendolyn Brooks, we are each other's business. We are each other's harvest. We are each other's magnitude and bond.
May you live in confident trust without worry for tomorrow.
May the divine send you forth to be a blessing to many.
And may you go forth pursuing the business of being kind, knowing that faith, hope, and love abide these three, but the greatest of these is love. Amen.
Amen.
Everyone, please join us for a presidential reception in the arena.
Tell the world I'll sing the song. It's a better place since you came along. Since you came along. Your touch is sunlight through the trees. Your kisses are the ocean breeze. Everything's alright when you're with me. love the way I am. And you're my favorite thing. Oh, the happiness you bring. Well, it feels like I've opened my eyes again. And the colors are golden and bright again. And the sun paints the skies and the wind sings her song. It's a better place since you came along. It's a better place since you came Now I'm alright. Now I'm alright. Everything's alright. 'Cause it feels like I've opened my eyes again. And the colors are golden and bright again. There's a song in my heart, I feel like I belong. It's a better place since you came along. It's a better place.
I know you moved on to someone new. Whole life is beautiful. You were the light for me to find my truth. I just wanna say thank you.
Leaving to find my soul. Told her I had to go. And I know it ain't pretty when our hearts get broke. Too young to feel this old. Watching us both turn cold. Oh, I know it ain't pretty when two hearts get broke. Yeah, I know it ain't pretty when two hearts get broke.
I hope someday we'll sit down together and laugh with each other about these days, these days. All our troubles we'll lay to rest and we wish we could come back to these days, these days. These days, these days. These days, these days.
3 years of ups and downs, nothing to show for it now. And I know it ain't pretty when the fire burns out. Calling me when I'm drunk, remind me of what I've done. And I know it ain't pretty when you're trying to move on.
I hope someday we'll sit down together and laugh with each other about these days, these days. All our troubles we'll lay to rest and we wish we could come back to these days, these days. Oh, I know, I know. Oh, I know, I know. Oh, I know, I know. These days, these days. Oh, I know, I know. Oh, I know, I know. Oh, I know, I know. These days, these days.
Cigarettes in the ashtray, reminiscing on those past days. I thought you didn't know my last name, but that changed. And I traveled around the world, think where you living at now. I heard you moved to Austin, got an apartment and settled down. And every once in a while, I start texting, write a paragraph, but then I delete the message. Think about you like a pastime. I could cry you a river, get you baptized. Or I wasn't ready to act right. Used to always think I'd get you back right. They say that things fall apart. We were gonna move to Brooklyn, you were gonna study art. Love is just a tool to remind us who we are, and that we are not alone when we're walking in the dark.
I hope someday we'll sit down together and laugh with each other about these days, these days. All our troubles we'll lay to rest. We wish we could come back to these days, these days. We wish we could come back to these days, these days.
I hope the days come easy and the moments
one's path slow, and each road leads you where you wanna go. And if you're faced with a choice and you have to choose, I hope you choose the one that means the most to you.